Melissa Cornick, one of our videographers today, you have a long career in one-way media, in commercial television, doing news documentary production. And now you are, I've heard you talk as we've visited with each other about some things you're doing in the community where you live to create conversation around issues. Can you talk a little bit about how the mind shift that you've had to put yourself through to get used to this new way of communicating with the former audience?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I come from a background where my stories reach millions of people, and the idea is to do stories that will boost in the ratings. So the effort is to find the original story that people will want to watch, and they have an effect because they're original. They deal with people's lives where they're going through what I call the Holy Grail. They've walked down the street to go to the grocery store, and they fall into a hole, and they have to fight their way out of that hole. And when they're coming out of the hole after going through the goblins and all the obstacles, I catch them. And I say, what was your story? In this case, I'm in a small community, and I'm sort of wondering, well, how do I make this thing go viral in the way that my stories always have gone? And the only way I can think to do it is by what a lot of you are doing, is just to, some of you are getting paid to do this. I mean, this is something that I think America is a democracy. People need to contribute their time. They need to do it for free when it's a cross-pollination. And so I'm looking at an issue that people are very concerned about in this one community, which are unverifiable voting machines. And I am investigating through their stories. In other words, they're becoming characters like in the real world, where I'm following them in their lives. If they're disturbing what they normally do, taking care of their children, you know, working or whatever it is, and getting out there and trying to figure out, how did we get these machines? What was the deal that was made way back when? How do these things work? Why don't they work? And capturing all of this stuff in a one-man band way on tape, but then figuring out, well, how do we get this out there so that other communities across the nation that have the same types of machines can do something about it. So it's kind of instructional in a way, and it's for this group, this 6 people that I'm following, to show the rest of the world how they're uncovering all of this information. And these are very bright, it's a very affluent community, what they call on the map from the Christian Science Monitor, moneyed burbs is what they call Bucks County, moneyed burbs. I live in a moneyed burb. I didn't know that, but anyway. But these people, I mean, of course, they've had all the privilege, and now they're like getting out there. And I tell them, I instruct them the same way I would a source that's given me a powerful original story. You know, you have to be able to communicate with anyone. Everyone is equally important. We all have to respect each other. I don't care if it's a soldier coming out of the war and has his shoulder blown off. He deserves the right to go on camera and tell what his story is. And for a long time, the media has been avoiding that. So these little stories coming out of these people as to how they're doing it, and then using my background as an investigator to uncover this stuff in a proper way so that this thing has legs and it doesn't go away 3 years ago because someone was able to knock it out of the box. You know, the stories have to be unchallengeable and have an effect. So that's the difference. It's sort of, how do you bring the community to really understand in America, how to understand this, how this small little group did what they did, and then let it go viral. Be free about it. You know, don't expect any money, and that's the difference in where it came from.
We're talking about a passion for place in the studios of Minnesota Public Radio. 12 of us who are bloggers, local online news community builders, and other forms of new media.